It's been a couple of years since the last COVID update, COVID 2019, and nearly 10 years since the one before that, COVID 5. But these two frameworks are arguably more important today than they've ever been, as an increasing threat landscape and the turbocharged adoption of cloud services has meant that the governance and management of enterprise IT has become a top priority for companies across the globe. So, today we're going to discuss everything COVID 5 versus COVID 2019, what the framework is, its history, what the differences are, which one you should choose for your organization, and how to implement COVID for your business. We have another video that covers the COVID basics and principles, so top right corner if you want to go check that out. Let's start off by understanding a little bit more about COBIT. COBIT, or Control Objectives for Information and Related Technology, is a globally accepted framework that helps enterprise companies optimize their IT governance, bridging a crucial gap between technical issues, business risks, and control requirements to ensure that your IT processes aid in achieving your business goals. COBIT was introduced by ISACA, the Information Systems Audit and Control Association, in 1996, and started off as a way to help the financial audit community maneuver in IT-related environments. Several updates came to COBIT in the following years, massively expanding on the scope and scale of the framework. Here's a quick history of it. The first version in 1996, COBIT 1, focused squarely on auditing information technology. It was built by auditors for auditors and had very little business application. The 1998 version, COBIT 2, moved the focus towards IT controls, the control practices and activities. A minor update, but important nevertheless. 2 years later, COBIT 3 was announced, and here we saw material changes in scope, from audit and control to business orientation and management of IT for enterprises. Now, some notable events had occurred between COBIT 3 and COBIT 4 that changed the overall landscape of corporate responsibility, like the burst of the dot-com bubble and the collapse of Enron, which reflected in COBIT 4's focus, IT governance. And that brought us to COBIT 5. Launched in 2012, COBIT 5 was considered one of the most significant updates to the framework since its inception. COBIT 5 consolidated and integrated a variety of different frameworks like COBIT 4.1, Val IT 2.0, and Risk IT to create a single unified cohesive framework for the governance and management of enterprise IT. While expansive though, COBIT 5 was not perfect, and so 7 years later, ISACA released COBIT 2019, and that brings us today. So, history lesson covered, let's dive into the question at hand. What are the differences between COBIT 5 and COBIT 2019? COBIT 2019 is an evolved version of COBIT 5. It adds several new concepts and mechanisms, focus areas, design factors, and management objectives, which are built to help organizations meet their multiple, often competing objectives. COBIT 2019 also aims to be a more flexible and customizable framework that can be adapted to meet the specific needs of an organization, unlike its more prescriptive predecessor. The first change is the smallest, but most notable, the name. With the latest update, COBIT moved from a chronological naming convention, 1, 2, 3, 4, to a yearly one, 2019, 2020, and so on. A change, according to ISACA, designed to denote COBIT's constant evolution with more frequent and fluid updates. The second change is governance principles. There were 5 principles in COBIT 5, along with 7 enablers. ISACA revised the terminologies of these 5 principles and introduced a 6th to the mix. They also introduced 3 new framework principles. We've covered all this before, so top right corner if you want to learn more about those. The third change is the change to processes. COBIT 5 had 37 processes, while COBIT 2019 has 40. The 3 new processes are ABO 14, Managed Data, BAI 11, Managed Projects, and MEO 4, Managed Assurance. There's also updates to terminology in COBIT 2019, using words like vendor instead of supplier and managed instead of manage. The fourth change is the change to performance management in design factors. In COBIT 5, performance was measured on the ISO IEC 33005 scale. Simple, but maybe too simple. To combat this, COBIT 2019 uses the CMMI performance management scheme instead, which offers more flexibility and prioritizes efforts based on specific needs. COBIT 2019 also introduces these 11 new design factors, which influence the design of your enterprise governance system. There are also some smaller miscellaneous changes to consider in COBIT 2019. Enablers are removed and rebranded as components. New technology and business trends in IT are introduced, and there are more integrations with other international standards, guidelines, regulations, and the differences between COBIT 5 and COBIT 2019 can be summarized as follows. COBIT 5 offered a more process-oriented model, following a systematic and predictable achievement of objectives. COBIT 2019, on the other hand, focuses on a more flexible and customizable model that can be adapted to meet the specific needs of an organization. Similarly, COBIT 5 provided a robust set of management practices for IT governance, focusing on outputs and providing a common language for business executives and IT professionals. COBIT 2019, though, considers a pragmatic approach to governance and management of enterprise IT, allowing organizations to strike a balance between realizing benefits and optimizing risk levels and resources. These factors, and also the overall age of the frameworks, means that COBIT 2019 is considered the most superior version of the two, and should be the one that most organizations aim to implement. Which brings us to the most important question of all. How do you implement COBIT for your business? One of COBIT's key differentiating factors is its ability to complement other frameworks like ITIL, NIST standards, TOGAF, ISO 27001, and much more. So when implementing COBIT, you want to make sure you find a solution that can maximize that. With Sprinto's Bring Your Own Framework feature, you can add COBIT to your dashboard while mapping common control requirements with other frameworks, such as NIST and ISO. This enables you to get audit ready for multiple frameworks at the same time. Get compliant with over 24 frameworks in a single dashboard, like SOC 2, ISO 27001, HIPAA, GDPR, NIST 853, and so much more. Quicker, easier, and more effectively using Sprinto. And with continuous monitoring via Sprinto's centralized dashboard, it means that you stay compliant too, all year round, not just during an audit cycle. To know more, visit sprinto.com or book a demo with our COBIT experts using the link in the top right corner or the description now.